So along with having a good file structure, you want to be naming your files within the title there as well, as smartly as possible. So you don't want to just have maybe HTML, so course on. So you want to have smart titles within the files as well. So the title here, the title tags, is what's going to show up here. When you go out to your website, it's going to show up here in the tab. And as well, Google's going to take a look at that and see what the title is, and that's going to help determine how to index the page. You always want to make sure that your title does have something to do with the content of your site. So not necessarily describing your website in just a few words, but you do want to have it related to the website content. And this is where you want to focus your keywords when you are building out that web content, to make sure that the title has the best keywords in it and most related keywords. And whatever you put in first within the title, those are going to be the most important keywords for that page. Again, refer back to the best practices when you are creating content and titles to make sure that you're not spamming and that the titles are consistent with what the content of your site will be. And also, when going back to our website, our web template here, we have a description area here. And this is going to be important to fill out in order for search engines to be able to understand the description of your site. So they might not necessarily use it to rank your site, but this is what's going to get displayed to summarize your page's content. So make sure that it's not generic and it's got keywords that contain information about the page's content. And basically this is going to be the description that it depends. So if Google finds that this description matches with what it determines to be the content of the site, it will use this description as the description within search terms. So when you do that Google search, you can see that when you do get these returned results, it can be that description that Google is going to use. And again, this is all dependent on what Google finds that your website is about. So if you've got nothing to do with your description, it's not going to include that description. But if you do have something to do with that description and it deems it consistent, it will display the description area here within the search results. And then this is another way that you can boost your click-throughs, because this is another thing that gets displayed here, as well as the page title gets displayed here for users to see, and you can use this to entice users to click through and find out more about this content. And again, refer to the Google best practices and guidelines, because you don't want to be spammy and you don't want to use this as just a way to kind of draw people in when it has nothing to do with this description here. So always be using that caution that you don't want to be spamming, you don't want to be misleading.